Bob, we're recording. Hello, folks. I'm Matt Ryan, and I am one half of the crack team that's guiding you through our in-person playthrough of Chaosium's Masks of Nyarlathotep Call of Cthulhu campaign. And the other half of that team is
Bob Geis, and we are the Arcane Keepers of Secret Lore.
No, we're not. No. I got it. It's on an envelope somewhere. Arcane Keepers. Nope, I screwed it up. Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets.
There we go. That's us.
Yes,
that's
us. I'm still working on the song. My drummer is in Mexico right now.
Working on the song? He went on a sabbatical to work on the song? That's great. Love it.
But the guitarist, who I've known since he was 16 and I was 17, so that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
He and I were hammering on it over the weekend. And anyways, people at home don't care about the song. They want to know what's going on in the campaign.
That's right. So, Matt, you got to do the recap because you played last week, right?
I'll do the quick recap. I played my third session. Where were we? We ended session 2.
The speakeasy and fire.
Yes. So the investigators are kind of poking around, and of course they're poking the wrong folks. And the wrong folks retaliate by torching the speakeasy. We start with session 3 with the speakeasy fire being put out. And because I don't want to spend any time on the fire. I failed. I was hoping that session 3 was going to be our last chapter of New York. I failed.
All right.
I failed you.
All right. No, it's all right. What happened? I want to hear what happened.
So we put the fire out. The chum doorman of the character who owns the speakeasy, he's missing. I think his name was Lennox or Leon or something, because we invented it on the spot. He's missing, kidnapped. They hunt around. They go and they talk to the Adams, Millie Adams, who can tell them how dangerous the cult they're poking is.
Yeah, that's right.
And Hilton Adams, which was marvelous on 2 counts. An obvious count is they got a lot more information about the cult of the bloody tongue.
Yeah.
The not so obvious fact is, I don't know, Bob, if you've ever visited anybody in prison. We don't have to get into the details of that.
Maybe I've been visited in prison.
Maybe you have, but when you are visited or visiting in prison, you have to present identification to the staff. So the characters, we just sort of jumped over that, right? But that meant that the 2 player investigators that went to speak with Hilton had to give their addresses. And luckily, they both live in New York. And too bad for them, of course, there's a member of the cult of the bloody tongue that works for the prison.
Yeah.
So put a pin in that for session 4. I've got an idea.
That's fantastic.
So they talked, clues, and then they went and they got it, Bob. They got the prop.
They got the envelope.
They got the envelope, and then they didn't know if they could crack it open.
Oh.
And I said, oh, yes, please crack it open. They were impressed. Sean and Andrew, if you watch this, and these are the masterminds behind the HPL Historical Society's props and radio plays, their DART program and everything. They were impressed, Sean and Andrew. They were impressed. So
I got to do it now.
So here, and they did have a hard time cutting this sucker open. We had to go through a couple of knives. But once it was opened, there's all these. There's all of this info. Oh my gosh, just piles of doctor notes, and whoever put this together, it's one of those 2 guys. Well done. So I got that, and then it's time to creepy crawl the Juju house again.
All right.
So they do. They walk in when Silas goes to lunch.
Okay. Great.
Because what they want now is they want definitive proof to free Hilton Adams. That's what they want. And they're thinking, well, how do we get definitive proof? So they're creepy crawling around and they find a ledger. They think, oh, there's got to be proof in there. So then they leave to steal the ledger. Silas comes back from lunch. They see him coming. One of the characters, who happens to be my lovely wife, waits in the dark for Silas to open the door, and then clubs him over the head with a flashlight. Notices the key around his neck, steals it, and then they all go running off. They run off. Okay. Then like a day goes by.
Okay. So they steal the key. They steal the key and run off.
They have the key. So now they know his schedule. He goes to lunch. Okay. So now they're gonna go back. They're gonna sneak through there a third time. And they do. And this time they find the trap door. Spoilers. I should have screamed spoilers. Stop watching. Spoilers, blah, blah, blah. You know there's going to be spoilers. They go down the cellar. They go down the hall. They open the room. Oh. And while this is happening, I'm having the missing barman calling. He's calling out. They can hear his voice.
Oh.
Help me.
Yeah.
They open the door. There's the big, that room is creepy. The setting is creepy. The covering of the well.
Okay.
They winch it open. They see their friend's face on the tube monster.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. God,
nobody loses enough sanity or loses any sanity.
Yeah.
Then the zombies come shuffling out of the closet. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody loses enough sanity. And what do?
Run away again.
They drop everything and run away.
Man. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good for survivability, but man, they're going to that well quite a bit. Quite literally, there's a well in there.
So now and then we end it. And then we end it, and we're gonna start in a week. And we're gonna pick it up from there. And I've got a couple of ideas. But before I get into ideas for my session 4, I want to hear about your ideas for your session 2, which is tonight.
Okay, so this is super exciting for me. Last weekend, I was all bummed out because I was at Genghis Khan. Although Genghis Khan was a great show and I had a great time, that's not why I was bummed out. I was bummed out because I had to miss my mask session on Thursday.
Yes.
But lo and behold, one of my players sends me a picture of the Eiffel Tower, which about my Wednesday game this week was, hey, if I'm seeing an Eiffel Tower, that means that guy's not going to be able to run the game tonight. Then lo and behold, I had this epiphany. I'm going to have a mask session this week and next week and get caught up with you.
Back to back. You're going to back to back it and get right back in the race. You're back in the race, guys.
I'm back in the race. I'm coming back. And so tonight it's going to be session 2. We're going to have a full complement. And so, they're really going to get started into the investigation. I don't know what's going to happen. Full disclosure, I was at Gamma earlier this week. I was at Genghis Khan last week. I've done almost no preparation for this game. I'm going to be doing it from memory.
What's to prep? How many clues do they have?
They have all the clues that they found in room 410.
And that's like 9 clues or something.
That's a bunch. They have all of the threads to pull on. It'll just be now notebook travel, figure out what's going on in New York.
Figure out what's
same thing that you ran into with your session. But it's going to be it'll be fine.
A very important prop is the newspaper article talking about the murder of Jackson Elias.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I wish the newspaper article had mentioned that his funeral is like the day after.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't. And that's an important bit because the funeral that like there's footholds there that you really that help guide them along, right? Because my folks immediately wanted to go to fucking China. We're at the 6-minute mark. We can start cursing.
Yes. All right.
They're immediately calling their travel agent. Remember when we used to have travel agents?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Matt, I just assumed that he's being murdered, his funerals, blah, blah, blah. I just assumed it was in there. Now I'm scrambling. I don't
think it's in there.
Now I'm scrambling. Oh my gosh.
Look, here's what I do is, like, as you know, I deface my books. In fact, on volume 2, I put a sticker of a local punk rock band in town.
As you would.
Call out to the chimes of bayonets who are not watching this.
They should be. Like and subscribe, Chimes and Bayonets.
Like and subscribe, Chimes and Bayonets. The one guy lives right around the corner. He's very nice. Anyways, in my now I've got to find my book. So it's here in the studio somewhere. So So I make notes, right? I make big circles on the page so that I can sit there and I can say, oh, look at this. The funeral is important. We got to do the funeral.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm scrambling here, man.
You're not, because there's going to be the letter to Harvard. They're going to want to go to Harvard or call somebody.
Yeah. All right. No, but that's a critical thing. I mean, again, it's that's where they see some folks there at the thing, right? Oh my gosh! All right.
I've got Geis. I flustered Geis.
All right. This is in the prop box. I'll put it on. This is like the low ranking member of the cult of the bloody tongue headband. So
that's like if the cult of the bloody tongue was a Patreon account, that's your $1.
This is the $1 level, right?
That's the $1 level,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And in fact, you don't even you got to make it yourself. You just get the
PDF it's instructions. We wouldn't provide instructions at the $1 level, right?
Now, what do you get? Now, what do you get at like the $25 level?
$25 level, you get the high priest one, which is over there. You can't see, but it'll be debuting once they go in and interrupt the ceremony that they have to interrupt because I made the headband.
Yeah. Well, now, so my group, I don't want them to go into the ceremony because here's my dilemma for session 4. There's going to be lots of interrupting cult ceremonies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a trope. It's so done. It's done. I want it to
happen once. And the one that I want it to happen. Now, remember, I've not read the whole campaign. So far, the one that I want it to happen is the one at Miser House in England. They're all running around bare-ass naked, whacking each other with clubs in the swamp.
Yeah. I would have to say, I agree. I know what you mean. There is a lot of cult ceremony interrupting. But okay, so I mean, and I may be playing fast and loose. What I would say is they shouldn't interrupt. They've gone back to the Juju house once, twice, 3 times. 3 times, man. There should be some people waiting for them, right?
What I'm thinking is no more Juju house.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cult moves on them.
Yeah.
We don't need to see the tongue monster ever again. Screw the tongue monster. The zombies can walk.
Yeah. Well, again, there's a few little trinkets in there that they could have. Did they get the trinkets?
Oh, no. Man. They're not going to get the mask. The mask is super cool. Look, it took all of my Matt Ryan charisma to get this goddamn thing in their hands.
All right. Well, again, so I want them to see the critter in the well. I want them to get a chance to get the trinkets. I want them to see, maybe just see the headband. They don't actually have to see it on somebody. But
they stole it. It's hidden underneath Silas's bed.
Yeah, again, it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah. So my group stole that. I don't want to go back to the Juju house.
I don't blame you. I mean, they shouldn't. I mean, if they go back there, your players are asking for a whooping. They need to get a whooping if they do that.
Because we've got, who's the head? What's his name? It's not Silas. It's
what is it?
Manawa or something.
Something like that. Yeah, he's a bad dude, man. He will mess them up.
Well, he's got spells and shit. So here's my thoughts. Here are my thoughts. And I think I might, as we sit down, because we all sit down and we get our Oreo cookies and we get our little treats, we get our drinks.
I wish I had some Oreo cookies.
The first thing we do is we make our luck rolls to see if luck improves.
Okay.
And luck is the best thing because there's always one member of the table, one member of the group who's got abysmal luck. And I love calling for group luck rolls. And I love when the character who has the worst luck is not in the scene. And I'll say, well, make a group luck roll. Bob, you still have the worst luck. And people will scream, Bob's not here. His character's not in the scene. And I said, Bob's at the table.
Oh, that's a nice move, Matt Ryan. I like that. That's cruel. That's cruel.
Keeps Bob engaged. Here's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to say, okay, behind the scenes, I'm parting the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
The cult reacts. You fucked with the cult enough.
Yes.
They've got cars and wheels and machetes, and now they've got zombies, so they're on the move. And here are the people whose addresses they know.
Oh, yeah. They've already burnt one place down.
I'm going to spell it out because there's some NPCs. They know where they know where the book guy is.
Yeah. Okay.
They know where Millie lives.
Yeah.
And my group has had the Hell Fighters help out by watching Millie.
Okay, sure. She's fine.
Then they know where like 2 or 3 of the investigators live.
Okay.
I think I'm going to come up with six locations, and then I'm going to ask the person with the worst luck, because he's the guy that's always failing the group luck rolls anyways.
Yeah.
To roll a 6-sided die.
Oh my.
And that's who the cult attacks.
So it could be Millie, the 2 investigators, or some of the other local yokels, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know, man. If it was me, it would be a D4. Two investigators, Millie and somebody else, and really, really heighten the odds that it's going to be one of the players. Like their location. I wouldn't necessarily do it while they were there, right? I would, maybe do it while they're not there.
Wreck their house.
Something like that. Yeah. And I would definitely not tell the player who's rolling the D4 what's what, right?
Oh, I'm thinking of doing it right on the table.
No. He'll roll the D4 because otherwise they would react. They'd be able to react and say, "Oh, I'm going to go by my house and protect it." It's like, you don't know where it's happening.
No. I would say what happens that night, and then we're going to say, "Okay, well, we go home. I'm going to go to bed. Oh, I'm going to have a watercress sandwich." We're at 16 minutes. We're going over.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned, dear listeners.
No, we can go over. We'll go over for a few more minutes.
All right.
Screw the rules. We didn't plan anything. Bob's been on the road.
All right. So go ahead.
Once they decide what they want to do that night, then I part the curtain.
Nice. All right. I got you. That's good.
Once they say, well, I still feel a little bad. I'm going back to the hospital. Oh, that's one of the locations.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe then I will spell it out. Here's where they know. And they're attacking they're attacking someone that night.
Love it. That's fantastic.
Because I just don't want, and I don't want to go back to the Juju house. I don't like this in and out.
3 times is enough.
Yeah. And maybe, although I've got 3 hours to fill, maybe they run away and there's nobody at the Juju house. Maybe the cult burns the Juju house. But that would be very anticlimactic.
Yeah. Only if they were burning the Juju house and the player's house at the same time.
Now, the other interesting thing here, and I know I'm talking a lot. I'm oversharing. The other interesting thing is on our 4th session, which happens next week, I'm also going to want to know where they're going to go next. And it's so far kind of evenly split between England and guess where?
Shanghai. It wouldn't be the worst thing.
If we go straight to Shanghai, I might shave off every other chapter except the Kenya chapter.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you in theory you can go wherever you want, but not in reality, right?
I do not believe it is written that way originally. I haven't read the new team of our friends, Mr. Mason and Fricker and Hard and Ms. Who else is on here? Lynn did some work. Hardy.
Wasn't it Scott?
Scott was there too. Scott Norwood. Look, it's a who's of Call of Cthulhu. Yeah. And then they got us lamos riding it.
We're riding your coattails, no question about that.
I have not read all of their work, so I don't know if it works better, but it does seem to be that the original emphasis, despite saying you can go anywhere you want, the climax is billed in a certain order, and climax D is bigger than climax C.
Yeah, for sure.
In a particular order. It's what it seems to me.
Totally.
Who hasn't read the whole thing?
You got to get on that. Have you got through Kenya yet?
I haven't even touched that. I don't even know which volume 1 or 2 that Kenya's in. The only thing I've done in volume 2 is, of course, I put a sticker on the front.
All right, fantastic.
And then I've read here I'm at the Drunken Foreman here.
All right, fantastic.
So we'll get through. I have a feeling though. I heard some of them talking the other day, and we're probably going to London. We're probably going to go to London. And
that's the best bet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we better wrap this up.
Okay, Bob. You got any parting words?
I can't wait for the recap of my next session. I hope it compares to the stuff that you've done.
And we'll try to do that. We'll try to do that in a few days, folks, so that we can hit our weekly schedule here. Do you want to do the begging, Bob?
Please, please, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, tell your family, all that stuff.
Anybody. We're up to 62 subscribers.
62.
It's a grassroots momentum here.
Yes, 75 is not out of the question in the future.
And remember, we got a big announcement at 100.
That's right. Huge.
It's a huge. All right. Everybody have a good week, and we'll see you next.